Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Unlocking Venture Capital. I'm here with Ben from Highline Beta. Hi, Ben. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So, Ben, you're joining us today from Toronto, right?
Yes, Toronto. Absolutely.
Perfect. So, Ben, I knew Ben when he first wrote his book that I was vigorously studying when I was a founder, Lean Analytics. So, would love to learn more about first, why did you come up with this book, and how does it then transition you into the venture studio that we all know and love today?
Sure. Well, so we published Lean Analytics in 2013. Because I wrote it with a co-author, Alistair Kroll. We had wrapped up, or we were in the process of doing really what was a venture studio at the time, but we didn't call it back then. We called it an accelerator, an incubator. It's called Year One Labs. And the idea with Year One Labs was that was right around the time Lean Startup was emerging.
Yeah.
And so we were looking at how do we apply lean startup principles to the creation of new startups. And we ended up building and funding five companies. They all happened to be consumer businesses. That wasn't intentional. It just that's the way it worked out. One of those companies was acquired by Airbnb, that was a cool experience.
Yeah.
And but out of that, we were really trying to apply these principles. And Eric's book had just come out. It was, I would say, largely things were Eric Ries's book.
Yes.
Anyway, it was he was practicing this stuff, but it was still fairly theoretical to everybody else. You could read Lean Startup and say, wait a second, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. But we said, well, let's apply this stuff. And as we were applying it through Year One Labs, we wanted to take a more analytical approach to it and say, can we make this even more practical for people and get into the weeds of running experiments, testing things, measuring things. And so that's how lean analytics came out of that experience.